Greetings. Thank you for subscribing. We will be talking today about self-improvement and self-development. Now, every one of us wants to be a better version of ourselves. You want to be somebody better than what you were yesterday. I would like to be a better version of what I was some years ago. And so, we need to undergo the process of self-improvement. We need to undergo the process of self-development. Now, what is self-improvement? Self-improvement is the process of allowing God and His principles to guide you, conscious pursuit of your personal growth. You allow God and His principles to guide you as you pursue your personal growth. Now, you allow the principles that God has laid aside. You allow the principles that God has kept for us to guide us, to lead us, to take us along as you develop yourself. It is also the improvement of our skills and our talents. Each one of us will accept that we have some talents that God has created us and deposited in us. Each one of us will accept that we have some gifts that God has bestowed on us. But those gifts will not be able to see the light of day if we don't undergo the process of self-improvement or self-development. And so there are some processes that we need to lay down or lay aside in order to achieve self-improvement. If I want to improve myself and become a better version of what I was yesterday, what do I need to do? If you need to get to a better version of yourself, what do you need to do? The first thing we need to do is you have to lay down a plan of action. You don't just get up from sleep, or you get up from your bed, or get up in the night and just become a better version of yourself. We must lay down a plan of action. What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? Where do I need to go? How do I get there? And so on and so forth. A plan of action. What you need to do in order to achieve that better version of yourself. If you are a medical doctor, and you plan to become a surgeon in the future, you don't sleep overnight and you get to become a surgeon. No, you need to lay down a plan of action. What do you need to do? What do you need to study? What courses do you need to attend so that you can become a better version of yourself? If you are a driver, how can you better your driving skills? What do you need to do? What do you not need to do? And so you need to lay down a plan of action. When you lay down the plan of action, it also involves your financial weight. What do you need to spend? How do you achieve it? How do you get these finances? So you need to lay down a plan of action in order to improve yourself and develop yourself. You don't just get to do it overnight. A plan of action must be there showing clearly where you expect to be in the next week, what you need to achieve in 2 months, where you need to get to in 6 months. When you lay that plan of action, you'll be able to know whether you are making progress or you are not. Next, what you need to do is, when you want to develop yourself or improve yourself, we need to learn to seek help from others. Now, sometimes those in your same career, those who are doing the same thing like you, those who are studying the same course like you, those who are in the same business like you, those who are practicing the same job like you, we need to learn from them. Ask them for advice. Ask them for guidance. Sometimes they used to say, not one man is not an island. You can never be on your own. You need to ask from those who have been in that trade before you. How did you get there? They may not be experienced as you are, but the little they will give you and you add up to what you already know will make you become a better version of yourself. Will make your business become a better version of itself. And so we need to learn to ask for help from others. Ask for help for those who have been in the business. Ask for help for those who has been in that profession before you. Ask for help for those who have been around that particular trade for a while. Ask them to tell you how they arrived there. For every person to succeed, or for every man to be a successful person, you must learn from errors of the past so that you don't commit those same errors. So that those who made those mistakes, you can learn from them, you correct them, and then you move ahead. So we must learn to ask for help from others. Something else that we need to do in order to improve ourselves or develop ourselves, you have to learn to practice diligently what you want to become. No, it's not sufficient to get to know these things. It's not enough to get to study these things. It's not okay to get to go around with these things, but you need to practice them. You come out with a plan of action for what you want to become. You ask for help, and then you do all this, and then you sit and fold your hands, or you are comfortable. No, you need to put these things into practice. Even the good book, the Bible, tells us that blessed are those who put these things into practice. And so you need to diligently practice these things. If you want to become a better student, what you will do is to practice diligently what the lecturer gives you as notes, to read them, to study them. If you don't study them, you just copy them and get them and keep them by your side, you may not be able to advance faster. And so, in order to improve yourself, in order to develop yourself, so that you attain a better height, develop your skills, improve your talent, improve your gift, you have to diligently put them into practice. The next thing we need to do is we have to substitute good habits for bad ones. We all know that sometimes at somewhere we have some habits that are not good, and these bad habits could hinder you from developing yourself to become a better version of yourself. And so what we need to do is those bad habits, we need to substitute good habits for those bad habits. Each one of us, you know yourself. We know exactly who we are. We know the things that we do that will not move along, that will not lead us higher, that will not make us become better versions of ourselves. And so those bad habits, we need to substitute them. Habits like spending more than you earn. Habits like borrowing more, or borrowing and not agreeing to pay. Habits like laziness, and so on and so forth. So we need to learn to substitute good habits for those bad habits. Also, to become a better version of yourself, in order to develop yourself and improve yourself, you have to learn to face one day at a time. Sometimes people get confused, they get choked up, they get fumbled up in life because they carry everything and want to mix it up in one day. You see your colleague or your friend with whom you schooled together and has suddenly gone up and is doing his PhD and so on and so forth. And you have not even begun the university and you want to do everything at the same time. It's not possible. It may lead you to a stage where you can develop depression. And so do one thing at a time. Face one day at a time. In order to improve yourself or develop yourself, get up, lay out your action plan, face one thing at a time. If you are taking your degree this in 3 years, do it in 3 years. After it's done, you move up to the next stage. You don't try to gather everything and do it at the same time. And so what we are saying is, you and I, everyone, can become a better version of themselves. They can become a better person than who they were some days ago or some years ago. But these processes, it needs you to lay aside things to do them. You must come out with a plan of action. What you expect to do, how you expect to achieve these things. You need to also ask from other people how they got there. Ask for advice, ask for direction, ask for guidance. You also need to be able to live one day at a time, face one day at a time. You also need to learn to substitute good habits for those bad habits. If you do this, you will become a better version of yourself. You will be a better person than who you used to be. You will be a better person than whom you were some years ago. That is what is expected of us. I believe if we go through these processes, you will become a better version of yourself. You will improve your talents, you improve your skills, and you will enjoy yourself. And you will understand that you have a purpose of living on earth. I pray as you do that, you improve yourself and develop yourself to the glory of God. God bless you in Jesus' name.